guys. Well, I'm super excited to get into this with Britt and Michelle. So the experienced eaters, and this is perfect for Small Business Week segment today. You guys went to Donato's, which is interesting because my 9-year-old has been begging to go to Donato's. We went to Buffalo Wild Wings, and he was like, Mom, we got to go to Donato's. So anyway, it sounds like they had a 1-year anniversary, and you guys attended that. It was a big milestone last week. Kind of walk us through what happened.
Well, one thing I want to throw out there real quick, we were talking about small businesses and chains earlier. There's a difference between a franchise and a chain where, the owner is in there working daily. Like, in Radcliffe, 2 of our most successful favorite places to go, well, I say, well, they're high up there, are chains. And it's Subway and it's Lee's Famous Chicken. Mm-hmm. But if you look at Lee's famous chicken and Subway, and the Subway has changed recently, but until about 2 or 3 years ago, Subway was synonymous with a guy named Barry Saylor because he owned both the Subways, and Barry was in his stores working every day. And with Lee's Famous Chicken, same thing. Kim Dennis, the owner, is in there every day working. And so, that was one of the things about Donato's that I was really excited about, that it's not just a pizza chain or not just a pizza store, because, the owner is in there on a daily basis working, and so I went by on Friday for their 1-year anniversary, and and it was supposed to be from 4 to 6. Well, I got there at 2. I just wanted to be a little early, see what was going on. Phillip was there, Phillip Justice, the owner, and I got to spend some quality time with him. We got to visit, and so everything I tried was based on his recommendation. I said, I said, I'm going to do a review. You tell me what we need to get, but he has made a significant investment in E-Town, in his store and his business. That's not even, including the amount of that's just the financial side of it, but also the timing from a standpoint is he lives an hour away, commutes to E-Town every day, comes in and works in the store, which is something that I just admire, because
it's serious effort.
It's serious effort because, mm-hmm. We live a mile from the red brick, and I do everything I can to stay away from here. That's too far. I don't feel like going up there today.
You're pretty dedicated to drive an hour to your business every single day. You have to love what you do.
Yeah, exactly. And so, and the other thing, I think that when you have, a lot of times people want to have franchises because it's a good investment or it's a cash flow opportunity. But it says the other thing is, when you have the owner working in that business every day, the level of growth and the way the store performs and the improvement of things is there, because they're there every day managing their resources, and they're going to, and if they make it and they survive, it's because they're adapting and they're growing and they're learning how to improve on a daily and weekly basis.
Nobody takes care of your business like you.
Yep, that's like nobody watches your kids like you do. That restaurant's that business is a baby.
Yeah,
for sure.
Are y'all ready for this video?
Yeah, I'm dying to see it. Let's go.
Now, Michelle got carryout. She didn't get to go with me, so she kind of got secondhand.
Yeah, he brought me back some great hot honey pizza, man. And it was pretty darn tasty, man. It was good. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, curious to see
all right.
Video as well.
All right, let's do it.
Hey guys, Experienced Eater here. We're in Elizabethtown, Kentucky, and we're going to go check out Donato's Pizza. It's a special day for them. It's their 1-year anniversary, and I'm excited to see what they have for us. They've got a huge menu, and I'm excited to go try some of their signature pizzas. So the owner, Phillip, especially recommended this pizza here. This is their hot honey pepperoni, and let me tell you what, this was a treat. All right, so we have the hot honey pepperoni. They asked me if I like spicy, and well, I said, yeah, sign me up. So this is and I love square cut pizza because I'm not a big crust guy, and I love it when I like the inside pieces. So you can see the undercarriage here. It's done. Let's see how this goes. I tried to do that in one bite, and it didn't work out. Much bigger bite than I intended to. So at this point in the video, I'm all in.
Yeah.
There's no backing out. There is no just little nibble here. I tried to do, and it was really good. That's great. I love the sweet, the heat, the crunch. That's fantastic. I tried to eat one bite. That didn't work. You know how that goes. But this is something you got to try. All right. Sweet tooth kicking in. And so we've got some of the Donato cinnamon bread. I wish you could smell what I'm smelling right here. Once you look at that, I'm in trouble. Just leave it at that. All right, I'm gonna get this first bite because I'm impatient. I'm gonna try not to burn my face off because this is really hot. But look at that. It's light, it's crisp, it's sweet. That's fantastic. You got to get some of that.
Do you think that cinnamon toast bread, does it own the dessert pizza chain lane?
Pardon?
Do you think that cinnamon bread does it own like the dessert award for pizza chain lane? You know, like, is it the best pizza chain cinnamon bread you've ever had?
It was up there. There's one other one that's pretty good too. And but I really liked it. Now they have another one that they do the same type of dessert bread, but it has Oreo on it. It's cookies and cream to go with that. I didn't try that, and but yeah, the cinnamon bread's good. I really liked it. It had a good crisp, and you could tell there was butter in the pan when they did it. You know, kind of like you know how Pizza Hut pan pizza has that, you know, just that even crisp on the bottom. The same way to go with it, and was very pleased with it. You know, I was pleasantly surprised with the whole experience.
All right. We can finish this real quick. 20 more seconds.
Hey guys, just finished at Donato's Pizza here in Elizabethtown, Kentucky, and let me tell you something. That pepperoni hot honey pizza was fantastic. I don't know if that's exactly what it's called, but it was spicy, it was crispy, it was sweet. I really enjoyed it. The cinnamon stick, off the chart. If you get a chance, you need to go check out Donato's and the owner, Phillip Justice. These guys are cranking it out. They're doing some good things, and I think it's an experience you've got to have. We'll see y'all later. Now, as my wife was saying, as I was trying to finish up there, one of the things is, you know, when you're looking at business, they're in a very busy part of town, but it's a hard part of town to access, and so you know that's a challenge. I think, you know, Buffalo Wild, the whoever designed the academy and the other store, I don't say their name, designed that parking lot, and then all of that together, somebody just didn't have flow in mind. But he's in a tough spot to get there. But you know they do a really good job. You know he and Phillip and I talked about some of the growing pains they had in their first year, as far as like following franchise recommendations versus what really works, versus what they've had to do. And it's exciting to see his growth and the success that they've had. And I think that they're definitely on the upswing, and having to overcome some challenges too. Because, in the restaurant industry, finding employees is difficult. People that'll work and care about it like you do. He's kind of got a tough. He's in a visible location. It's just a little hard to get to. I think K-Pot kind of falls that whole K-Pot, Panda Express, that whole area is difficult to get to.
You kind of have to be intentional about going there.
Yeah.
You have to think about whether you're going to come around from one end or it's like you can't get there from here. You got to go past them and go to the big intersection, or you got to go on Dixie and come around from behind. So just takes a little effort, but worth it.
Yeah. And very very excited to see how they do in their second year here in Elizabethtown with that. Now I don't know, have any of y'all ever eaten at another Donato's, or have you ever had that? Have y'all ever had that? The menu is really big. There's a lot of things, and that's the bad part about when I go and I do a review and I'm by myself, is I can't, I can't end up with usually we take a group of 3 or 4, so we end up with 3 or 4 or 5 things, and we can, kind of spread the love around a little bit. And that's another thing too, Rachel. If you ever want to go with us to do a review, that's fine, but you have to understand it's family style. Everybody's plate's free game, and that hey, here, try this.
I actually love that. Excuse me, my allergies are terrible. I love that approach. Like, I'm all about, like, here you have a little bit of mine, I'll have a little bit of yours, because it lets you try other options. So,
well, we have friends that aren't that way. Like, we went out with some friends and said, "Hey, you want to try this?" And it was like they were like completely creeped out by it.
I'm here. You can have a bite of mine. I'll have a bite of yours.
You got to use clean forks for sure.
Yeah, sure. Well, I just wanted to say, first year anniversary for a franchise in this market, it's genuinely a milestone. I'm super excited for them. I'm so glad they've continued to make it, because I know my boys are dying to go. So we're going to make that happen this week. From your seat as a food expert, what's Donato's doing well that the chains that don't survive miss? Well,
I think that definitely the thing they do well is that their ownership and their leadership is in the building a lot. Often, I know he's out of town this week for training. He told me that he was going to be out, but he's in the building. He cares. He wants to be successful. And in that, I think that's the drive. I mean, you have somebody that has got it. They have skin in the game, and they're listening to the people around them. They're following the plan, but then they're also going above and beyond in doing that. And I think also when you're an owner or you're the leader of a business, and Rachel, you've been in corporate, you understand that as a trainer and stuff. You don't understand how much of your attitude in the way that you work and your work ethic. You don't understand how much of that affects your team, because they look to you, and they often, whether they admit it or not, they will emulate you. Yep. And so if you're going above and beyond, more than likely you're going to find people that'll go above and beyond. And if they won't, they don't last long, and they work themselves out of the equation. And so I think one of the things that Phillip and his team are doing really well is they strive to be better every day. They make database decisions, and they really sincerely care about what they're doing.
That's awesome. Awesome. Phil, Scott, did you have things you want to add?
I think I had one. Just though, I was just kind of curious if you think is it, because I can only think of like the Donatas, and then another brand that comes to mind that has like actual franchise owned, where the owner's like pretty, they're strict. Like Chick-fil-A is kind of like that. Is that like a similar model that they're using there at Donatas?
I'm not sure exactly. Chick-fil-A, that model, the Chick-fil-A owns the store. They own it. And I think in the Donato's model, based on what he had to invest in his build out and everything else like that, I think he bought the rights in the franchise. And I think he has a little more control that goes with it. But they have franchising fairs, and there's good and bad to that. Some people see a low franchise fee and they're like, oh well, I can make more money. But then there's not. They don't have the support. They don't have some of the things that go with it. So if you're going to be a business owner, and that's one of the things that you want to do, you want to really look at all that and take into consideration. I know a friend of mine that he's in the process of franchising a burger chain, and I sat down and looked at it and started seeing a lot of the cost. Like you have requirements. You have to buy your paper products from him. There's things that you have to buy from the home office that are more expensive than what you can go get somewhere else. But that's a way that they build profit centers into that along those lines. And so
every franchise is different.
Yeah, every one of them that's really successful. There are countless models that work out there. Some of them control who you can buy your food from. I mean, there's just a lot that goes into it.
Cool.
Scott?
Yeah, and one thing I had is, I'm going to play devil's advocate for a moment with franchises. It's still a local business that maybe the owner's not local, like you say, but you got employees there that are local. When you're touching back on what you said earlier about the difference, how do you see the difference between a franchise and, if it still counts for shopping local?
Well, I think that's a great question. And I say that because, we see that a lot in our small businesses. We kind of look at Red Brick Cottage versus Big Box, for example. Right. Mm-hmm. And those are there. And a lot of times, let's be perfectly honest, in the market that we're in today, the consumer is driven by cost and convenience. Mm-hmm. That is the driving factor for that. And very few people, loyalty is at an all-time low. They'll drive across town to save a nickel on something instead of paying, or they go and ask their friend that has a business for a discount instead of it. And so, the chain model, I won't say franchisee, but I'll say the chain model provides so much buying power and provides so much just retail power that it does make it hard for those little places to survive. But that's why when you have a business and you're in it daily, your relationships are so important, because that relationship is how you're going to build that loyalty. Rachel has seen benefit from that because, people are getting, by hosting this show, people are getting to know her in a way that they haven't seen her before. It helps her brand herself as the expert, not just saying, hey, I'm the expert. It's like, oh, I'm on a podcast and they say I'm the expert. And that helps do that. Same thing with what you do, Scott, and same thing for Phil. And so that relationship is how, building that relationship and putting that equity in that is how you build that loyalty. And that's oftentimes the reason that you can survive. Now, let's go back to the franchise model, for example, here in Radcliffe, Scott, something very easy. We have 2 fried chicken places. We have KFC and we have Lee's. I can tell you the number of times in 10 years that we've eaten at KFC, and it's been like once or twice. One, we had a really bad experience, and then we went back because they had some promotional thing we wanted to try. But we got done, and we felt a little guilty because we didn't eat it. We got fried chicken, but we didn't support our friend who shops with us, who we do stuff with, and do that. And so, and that's where that relationship equity is so key to do that. But as consumers, we need to think about, hey, if I go talk to these people, if I go to Walmart, are they going to sponsor my kid's little league team, or are they, or who's going to cut that check to put their name on the back of my kid's jersey?
Correct.
Right. Exactly.
All right. We didn't play their jingle. We got to play their jingle.
And it's not DiGiorno, it's Donato.
It's Donato.
Donato.
Well, and if you aren't sure where Donato Pizza is located in Elizabethtown, it's at 1511 Ring Road. That's Suite 100, right near Buffalo Wild Wings. There is Hobby Lobby and
Academy
Sports.
Academy Sports. Great. Thank you, Michelle. So, excuse me, they are celebrating their 1-year anniversary. Make sure you go out and support them. Thank you guys for the video. I'm getting that hot honey pizza. Like, you don't even know. My mouth is like watering. I'm so excited to try it.
I'm not kidding. When I brought it home and Michelle had it and we were kind of conversing with knowing that your love for spice, we said we know one person that's got to have this pizza.
I cannot wait. I mean,
unusual, and that's what and I think nowadays, even especially with pizza, because there's so many different options. I had never had that combination on a pizza before, and I really liked it. It was just something different, which everybody's looking for. So I would definitely recommend it.
As soon as I saw it on the screen, it called to me. Okay.
Now, I will tell you this. I will say this, that it was definitely. I had hot belly after having it.
Oh, it's hot,
and it stays with you.
Good. That's exactly what I want. I want to remember that meal for a couple days.